Welcome back to Canadian Disc Golf Productions. We are watching today the back nine of the first round of the Project 15 Open. We are, if you didn't tune into the first nine, you should probably go back and watch that. But anyways, I am Chris Brown, and I'm here with
Voskamp.
Voskamp indeed, here we are. So this is the Project 15 Open near Peterborough, Ontario. This is the first of the OCC qualifying spots. Everybody's here is looking for the golden ticket to
This year's provincials going to be in Brantford, Ontario.
That's true.
We have Martin Hendal as well as Cam Zanini. We're looking at Andrew Leyland, just moving back from BC. And last but not least, Jacob Voskamp, the local, only 20 minutes away.
Also an incredible disc golfer.
Sponsored by Gander Disc Golf.
It's true. Hole 10. It is difficult. From the shorts, as we were playing the blue layout, we play the shorts on 10. The ideal play is just to throw up a disc right about here, just past the big tree. If you want to get a little aggressive, you can throw a little flex forehand to push you up sort of this juniper, gives you an easy upshot. But anything that gets you to the corner is good, but if you don't get to the corner, you're just laying up to the corner anyway. So
yeah, the goal is to get past that giant white oak. If you can get past there, you definitely have a good chance at chasing the birdie. You just got to make sure you avoid that juniper bunker center fairway.
Martin Hendal up here first. It's about 330 feet, I think, to the, actually, I think I might have it here.
Just anything past that white oak, and you can see Marty just squeezing, bouncing off it, putting himself right side forest fairway.
So we have that white oak at about 280 feet, and you want to be about 40 feet past it, so 310, 320 feet drive, dead straight, and you don't want to go left or right. So it's a tough shot, but
it'll be good.
If you have it, I think the flex forehand is the play if you just get it going down the fairway, as Cam will try and demonstrate for us right now.
Comes out a little bit early and just kicking off that big white oak.
It's tough to say what kind of line he's going to have from in there. You could get lucky, but more often than not, you are just pitching up around the corner. Leyland with his Pathfinder. Oh, they're all going towards that tree.
And he just kicks off a different tree.
A little bit early. Let's see what he has to deal with here, short and right. You just got to be in the center here. Pitched up to the perfect landing zone off the drive. I think Cam's going to have to do the same.
Pretty much right on top of each other there.
Okay, left himself a little long here. It's going to be a little trickier into the approach, but definitely cut off a bit more distance than Leyland did. Marty looking like he's lining up a forehand roller. This is really aggressive from where he is. Hits a tree and still rolls out to a decent landing zone. This is the second shot you're looking at here off your drive. If you get a good one off, Leyland obviously going for his 3. It's kind of a floaty putter up the hill. You just, let's go early.
Early release. Once again, lucky though, landing center fairway.
Yeah, it's true. At this distance though, unless you're way in the trees, like past where Jake here is. Where did that end up? Oh, must have hit something as it comes flying down to the right. So he'll be short again. That's not bad for his second shot, though. Definitely takes you out of birdie range. Cam actually left himself in a great spot. Just a gentle hyzer or inside route approach. This goes the hyzer. Ooh, didn't like it. May have slipped on a rock or something.
He'll be left with an inside the circle putt.
Oh, Leyland.
And turns that one over out of the release. Lucky tree. Again, the tree gods are with him today, putting him back in the center fairway. That's twice in one hole.
It's true. That true. I know he probably doesn't see it that way, as he's probably shooting for his 5 now, I'm guessing.
That is correct.
5. And this is Marty for his 3. Definitely just trying to get up and down. Or no, yeah, definitely get those. All these rock kicks as he coming in, hyzering through the chains are putting you right back under the basket. Jake with a not so good upshot has to now pitch up and take his par. Okay, yeah, nothing wrong with that. A 4 on this hole is good in my opinion. A 3 is obviously optimal, but if you walk out of here with a 4, you're never too mad at it. Andrew Leyland though, he didn't exactly put himself close. And that was for his 5. So be putting for 6. This is for Cam's 4. His par. Who catches left hand side.
Fantastic catch.
Cam checking the wind after it goes in. Oh no, Leyland.
And as you can see, this hole is pretty difficult. It scored .39 over par. There was only 4 birdies on the day.
None of them were on this card. That's surprising.
Yep. Here's Marty. Tapping in his par. We don't see him too often anymore in our divisions. He's moved up to MP40 as of late.
Has he?
So,
Haven't noticed that.
yep.
That's definitely a division he can, I don't want to say dominate, but he can definitely perform well in there, because he's still one of the best in Ontario, even in the MPO field. Hole 11 is, it's a tough gap. This hyzer route that we take, that Marty is lining up here, I've been looking at it for years. I don't fully understand it. I don't know how it keeps working for people, as it's a very small gap on a very particular angle, but we shall see what Marty can do for us here. Gets a little right. Oh.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. And as you can see, Marty at least got through that first initial gap, so his second shot will be a clear line to the basket. Over the years, this hole has been cleaned up. They cut down a tree recently that gives you a line right up the center of the fairway to the basket. And as you can see, Jake trying to use as much of it as possible. Turns it over a little bit, but...
Yeah, that big ancient tree in the center is kind of what you're aiming at on that straight gap. You just want to throw it at it, have a gently hyzer before it. The forehand is a good play here too. It's very safe.
A little bit of a slip on the tee pad for Cam there, but he still got out a decent power forehand. Center fairway, center cut. Definitely have something to work with.
Let's see what Leyland going the straight gap with the Pathfinder, and he does it. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Missed that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hyzer just before the big tree. That's got to be close.
And as you can see, that sigh of relief as he was walking off screen. And as you can see, Marty's line, if he does hit it, that's a beautiful, will be set up perfectly on the green. Nice backhand.
Not bad. Leaves that one just left. Leyland, after taking the 7 on the last hole, is really going to be happy to see if he's putting here for the 2. Cam's drive. I like the forehand here. It kind of keeps you out of danger, because if you hit anything, it's just going to kick you over to the right into the middle of the fairway. But the gap is still tiny. Yeah, it's a good run from where he was. I think he'll be 20 feet deep. This is where Jake got to. This is interesting. Looks like he's a bit right. I guess he kicking off that tree.
First he was disappointed, but he was left with a birdie putt. Just bounces it off that tree.
Just try to push that one a little extra hard and pulls it right. Oh,
Just chains out left side. You can see he's just not sure what's not working for it today.
been all over the basket, just can't seem to drop them in. How'd that one play today?
This one played as one of the harder holes, plus .39 over par. There were only 4 birdies on the day.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a tough gap. You have to hit your gap perfectly. As you can see, Leyland's disc is, you can probably reach over and drop it in from that range. So Yeah, bag on, umbrella in hand. He's not worried. Great 2 from Leyland as Jake taps in his missed opportunity 4 there.
And looking at the stats here, you as well took a birdie on the first round.
I did. So I did the same thing Leyland did, just left myself a little farther left.
Hole 12, we call it Cherry Hill because as you can see, the hillside has got some sumac trees, and they say you get some cherries out of one of those trees somewhere in there. I'm not exactly sure which one.
I'll have to come back here during season and check for myself.
I'll have to figure that out.
The idea is you just want to throw, it's 382 feet, probably plays a little less than that, but you just want to hit the gap with something straight. So any sort of fairway driver that you can hyzer flip up the gut, and you just want to make sure you hit that gap, and once it goes through that gap, wherever it goes is wherever it goes. You can see the gap there, low left, with the little walking path carved into it. That's high for Leyland.
From the tee to the hill, according to our information that we got Gabe, the course owner, that hill is only about 130 feet from the short tee, which we are playing for this round.
The hill right in front of us?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 132 foot, and you got a gap to hit. Marty also puts that one up a little high, but that's perfect, actually. Never mind. Not high at all.
He'll be on the left side of the green, tucked up in some of those trees there, left with probably a little bit of a tough putt.
There's like a pit or an old bunker or whatever it was right before the basket or the landing zone for the thing that discs tend to funnel towards. This looks like it might be heading towards it.
That bunker is perfectly placed for the shorter pin position because it is placed right behind it.
Yes, I kind of like this pin position, which you can't see right now, so hard to explain, but the pin position in now, you do have to kind of push it a little higher as Jake comes a little inside and
just skips off that hill tree, and he's right off the pathway fairway.
There's that pit we were talking about. Tends to collect discs. They just happen to fall in there, and then you got a awkward high putt to putt out of it. It's not bad for Jake though. He can pitch up, not really trying to push too much here, just trying to get that 3. Leyland squeaked out left with his high release. He's gonna have some struggles. He doesn't seem to like what he's looking at right now. I think that's as best as he could do. Cam as well. This course has such small growth that nothing is ever comfortable. You're never sitting there being able to get your full stance, your full stretch, anything like that, as Cam tries to just arm that one into the basket because he's got no leg push. This is where Marty ended up. It's really good drive from back there. Just a little bit deep, a little bit left.
Just a little low, hits the top of the cage there.
Oh no, that looked good. Surprised to see Martin miss those kind of putts, but I guess anybody can do it.
There's Cam saving a par.
Man, we're looking at 4 pars? 4 pars for this hole? It's a tough hole, but it's with 3 out of 4 hitting the gap quite smoothly, you would expect at least one.
And there's a star par for the card.
And as Marty taps in with a little bit of flair there.
Hole 13. Course locals call this one Sentinel for all of those big maple trees standing guard. As you can see, there's a lot of them along the fairway.
Yes, so the optimal play here is if you have it a righty forehand, like a flex forehand up the gap just to the right of the big tree and just sort of play up here into a skip to a circle 1 putt. If you don't have it, you can lay up to the front, or you got to do a perfect hyzer flip to flex shot that just gets there luckily. So Leyland definitely opting for the forehand. Ooh, pulls it way left and makes it all the way back. That's not bad. He got full flight out of that, so he might have some trees in his way, but at least he's not far. Marty not really known to throw too many forehands. He's going to try that hyzer flip to drift kind of throw. Now it comes out a little early, or late rather, coming in right.
Big kick, but
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's there. It's what do you say about it, right? He didn't get too penalized. He's probably still got a line to the basket one way or another. Cam has all the power in the world for this forehand, so I think he's the one who's going to be able to show us exactly how to do it.
and he gets up into that ideal position right up on the crest of the hill.
He stepped in our way. It's hard to see, but I'm willing to bet that was perfect. He also didn't seem to hate it either, so it's got to be great. Jake going backhand. It's definitely the tougher line, but he's the local, so he'll know best, and he leaves that one early as well. Oh, and he gets an even worse kick. What is he looking
He made
at
it
here?
past that significant big tree, which is 170 feet from the tee. So
Jake comes up and catches another high tree. Is this a Martin? Oh, another Martin Hendal forehand roller. 2-in-1 around.
that is a sight to see. Very rare.
Shows you the difficulty of this fairway once you got it. Oh, it's actually a tomahawk. And that was fantastic. He hits the big tree.
Leaves himself with a nice putt.
Yeah. That could have gone in if you got a better kick. That'd be something. Oh, Jake.
Jake with another.
Not exactly on his lines right now. Just missing by inches, but getting penalized doubly for it. Leyland with his, I would call it a lucky shot to get where he is, just opts to get the layup 3. This will be a tough putt for Jake to lay up, but at this range, with it being elevated and slightly on a hill, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to run, as he just puts one past about 30 feet. This is Cam's drive. Looking for the 2 on, arguably, it has to be one of the hardest holes in the course.
Shooting at .07 over par. We had 5 birdies on the day.
Really?
And as you can see with Marty using the towel on the disc, the rain is starting to pick up. That's one of his patented tricks that he's got to keep everything dry.
It's like a magician. Keeps it hidden until it's time to show you. And that's the magic.
Boom. Big putts for Marty. Marty doing Marty things.
I think that would mess me up if I had a putter over top of my disc. It just, I don't know. Look at Marty being a nice guy, trying to stabilize the swinging basket. It's one thing about these hanging. Ooh, if someone tries to come out, is that they tend to move if it gets too windy or they get hit too aggressively. Did I miss something with Jake? I thought he went long. Maybe he caught the tree and pushed back, and I just happened to follow something different. As Jake comes in there with the 5, so yes. Cam there, one of 4 2s on the afternoon, which we have a lefty and 2 power forehands. So Thomas, Chad, and Calvin. Also speaking of 2 out there. Hole 14 from the longs, because now we are alternating. We are switching to the even holes being the longs, while the odd holes will be shorts. This one here has been cleared out a lot over the years. You're just trying to, as you can see, just trying to throw something straight down this gap, get it just past that juniper you can see, and then it's just a pitch over the gap to try and get your birdie 3.
From the tee to the edge of the quarry, as I'll call it, is about 360 feet. So if you can make it to there, we'll have a chip shot over, but that's a pretty tough line. So what everyone typically does is a backhand lets it fade out to the left, leaves you with the wide side of the fairway, and you can just put something safely over that gap onto the green.
They're all leaking out a little farther left than I think you'd like. You do want to kind of keep it straight. You don't, the farther left you go, the more those trees in the distance kind of pinch you off. So we'll see what they can do. It's still just a hyzer, but kind of makes it more difficult.
Can't really see the basket from where you're standing with those disc placements. Here's Marty getting sneaky.
Once you get over to that right-hand side, it's just in front of the short tee pad. It's been cleared out a lot, so where Marty is, he'll have a straight shot at the basket. Almost optimal if you ask me, but trying to get there is a tough get. This looks perfect. That's exactly where you want to be if he didn't push himself too far. as I can say, cleared out wildly here from Marty, getting lucky, and should be an easy up and down for him as he floats his putter as he does. Oh, look at the rain coming down too. It
was getting heavy in this
Yes.
second round, or in this back nine of the first round, I should say.
Yeah. We got lucky to get this far without the rain, so we knew it was coming. Everybody was prepared. Everyone had their umbrellas. Everyone had their jackets.
Just a little bit short for Cam. He's going to be on the edge of the hill.
Ooh.
There's Andrew making it to the flat on the far side.
It's tough to say because this one is right on the edge of the hill, so if you put yourself too far, either running it or playing too safe, you have a death putt coming back at the basket now.
And so here's Marty
And yes, Marty with the towel.
with his third shot, trying to go for the birdie. And with just a steep incline, he just missed the basket.
I'm wondering if he had one of those junipers just like in the way that he had to kind of get around.
I think between the hill
Mhm.
and the junipers, it's a pretty steep grade because you could tell that it's been dug out. And so, pretty tough putt. Cam was in a little bit of a better spot.
This hole is called the Pet Cemetery, so right behind our players there is where Gabe and his one of his neighbors is burying all of his old pet dogs. So pay respect to the puppies when you come by this hole.
Moment of silence as you walk to hole 15. This one was actually rated as one of the easier holes on the course. We had 10 birdies on the round.
I can see it. It's two straight controlled shots. You know, it's very seldomly you're going to get an aggressive thing unless you get some putt in trouble, an aggressive score unless you're getting in some trouble on the putting green. So Marty here with actually a fantastic second shot. I thought he went a little long, but this is 15 feet for his birdie. Dead center. See what I mean though? If he would have chained out one way or the other, he's going back down that hill and having to make the putt back up. That was not for his birdie, was it? It was for a par.
That's
So
correct.
just remember, he putted from down there.
Hole 15. We call this one Nublin's Fields.
It is from the shorts. It's almost attackable. You kind of want to just throw a max distance shot. The safe play is just a hyzer up sort of to where we are right now, and then you just got to chip around this corner to get down to the basket. This one here has a little bit like the only OB, which is a bit left, but it should never really come into play. It's a really easy hole in my opinion. You just need to throw far once and then have an accurate upshot. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of the easiest holes on the course.
It is. It's actually .54 under par.
That makes a lot of sense. This is Cam just hyzering that out there as far as he can. Doesn't really matter where it lands as long as he has good footing, because there is some sumac and some juniper up there that you have to dodge. But
One of the few holes on the course where the trees can't come back and bite you. So
yeah, the only open shot you have on this whole course is this one here.
And hole 3. But
Yes.
this is the hole that you can get out all your frustrations on as you're coming to wind down and finish your round.
Mm-hmm. At 485 feet, it seems a little far, but I get it. I get it. It is also downhill once you get over this hill, so I can understand that.
And it's the obstacles in front of the green.
Yeah. That was, see, again, everyone just throwing their stock hyzer flip distance shots into the distance, into the nice white blue sky, into the rain. Marty starts turning over on him. That is the one mistake you really can't make. He just put himself, he got past the sumacs. Okay. He threw it far enough to get it past the sumac, so now he's got a blind hyzer towards the basket. It's tough, but it's tough to say where that went, but it looked great actually, because that's the big tree he went around there. And this is the typical spot. You get it here, and you just a little chip forehand down the gap on the left. Sorry, I was mistaken about where he was. He was a bit straighter, so he came from the right side. The problem is with this one is getting it to stop in time, coming down that hill on the spine of the quarry stone there.
And as you can see, that one a little bit too powerful.
This is where Jake's got to. This is a chance. This is a long. First off, he smashed this drive. That had to be everything of there, but
definitely going for it. There was only one eagle on the day, and that was by Gavin Cathy.
So yeah, I was there for this one. He was on my cart, and he flexed a forehand, absolutely smashed on it, and got himself up to a 15-footer short and right of the basket. It was incredible to watch as Leyland squeaks that one over.
And as you can see, the rain starting to come down again.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely affecting some players during the tournament.
Sure, it's always going to affect people. The rain is annoying, but I think by this point everyone's got it kind of figured out how to manage it. At least it's not that windy. So that was it. I think that was 4 threes on that hole.
That was.
So yeah, one of the easier holes on the course. It's fun, but it's definitely better from the longs. Hole 16 is a tricky one. You kind of want to get right to here where with your drive. Short left, anywhere like that is fine, but you do just want to lay up to there and then take this either forehand into the basket or anti-flex or take whatever route you can get there. But the important shot on this one is the drive, and it's not a full power drive. You don't need to bite off too much. You don't need to be too aggressive, but you do need to hit a gap from pretty far away. So there's 3 kind of routes you can take here. This is the first route. It's the layup to the right gap. Unfortunately, Cam another foot higher, and Cam was in the perfect position, but he catches that rock.
That kick off that rock put him in a better placement so that he would have a better shot for a second going down the fairway around that big maple tree in the center of the fairway to the right.
Sure, yeah, as opposed to just stopping where he hit the rock, yeah. Leyland here is taking that route too, and that one just drops.
Beaten up by the wind and pushed him right down.
Wow, that was a big drop and really unfortunate for him. I think Jake is also going to take that route. There's 3 accepted routes here. You can go their route, which is the mid-range fairway driver hyzer into the same thing. You can do a flex forehand down the right gap, or you can take a flippy Annie down the left gap and try to really punch down the fairway. This looks great from Jake.
Just misses that tree.
That's got to be perfect.
Center fairway. He'll be happy with that one.
I think Marty here is somebody I can see taking the left route and just try to play the shape of the fairway the whole way. But there's a lot of risk involved if you try to take this route. It's hard to tell with this. Yeah, he's got that flippy wraith in his hand. It hyzers out on him. And,
tree kick and puts him left side.
Yeah, you definitely need that turning the whole way. So he does not get the luck and kicks himself into a pretty rough spot. Oh,
Andrew
takes 3 different tree kicks into the next hole.
He is actually on the short tee pad for hole 17.
That's not good. There is not that many lines to make it back to the fairway, let alone for progression to the basket. So Cam really did want to get over that mound and into the rocks or past the rocks there, but I think this will just be a layup 4 for him. Oh, as he early releases that.
Slips out a little bit, kicks off the first tree. Here's Marty's placement of his drive.
Another forehand roller. This will be the second one. The other one was a tomahawk, but let's see if you can get it. It's tough with the rocks and the sticks and everything to get the forehand roller down, so it's a little bit risky. Did he hit it? Did he hit a tree?
Nope, he missed a tree, hit that little island of rocks and grass by that big tree, and just was able to get her on down.
So he's playing backwards up 17 right now. As he just
squeezes out and finds the only gap that'll get him back onto our fairway.
That's very good. Still not happy with where he's going to be, but after throwing 3 shots, but back on the fairway. Every stroke counts, right?
Yep. Jake with the perfect drive. Leaves him with his sleeve. Comes out a little bit choppy, but it made the bend, and he'll be able to see the basket for his putt.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely let that one go a little early, but kind of squandering the fantastic drive. But if he can capitalize, that's fantastic as well. Cam, on the other hand,
lining up his 3rd shot,
is cut in tight here. I think they were telling me that Right as he was about to throw that, a drop of water landed square on his thumb. So that's why he's having to take the extra time to completely dry off the disc again.
Or was that beautiful flex shot?
That's fantastic, Cam. Well done from in tight.
A little bit long, but he'll have a nice putt coming back towards the basket.
From there, getting any chance at a putt at the basket is fantastic. As Marty's pinched himself against a tree.
You can see the rain still coming down, but Marty was able to get that one up onto the green.
That's good control there in the rain and in the tight to try and trust it to turn over. This is where Jake's second shot got to. He looks like he's putting, so don't know how far away.
Just off the cage.
That was a great attempt from Jake after the unfortunate second shot, but give himself chances to get birdies, and that's the important part on this course because they don't come easy.
That they do not. That they do not. And there's Cam just chaining out. Really hoping to get that one.
Mm-hmm. Zanini's really come alive in the second 9 here too. So it's unfortunate, a little bit of bad luck on this hole, but still doing well. I think he's -3 through the back 9. So keeping himself on pace. Hard to keep up with Marty, who's 9 down through 16, but as he misses that one.
Second one low off the cage.
I think that's going to tap him in for a bogey.
That it is.
Okay, that's surprising, but he did get really unlucky off his drive, so that's what happened when you come out aggressive on this course.
There was only 2 birdies on the day for that hole.
Nahan and Anthony Gioia. Hole 17 from the shorts. It's a tricky one. It used to play OB in the pit behind the basket, so it made it incredibly scary. This year, they were nice enough to make it not OB, so you're just trying to snezzle one up here, slide it up the hill, and get your tap in.
Bunkers everywhere.
Yeah, because if you go long, it's just a straight drop off into the pit behind, and it'll go minimum 50 feet. So a decent play is if you just try to play it just over the hill on the right. That backstop there is maybe 20 feet from the basket, so I'll give you a good putt, a good safe putt at that.
Jake wanted to go with the wide hyzer, hits the tree and lands right on the edge and just slides down into that first crevasse.
That's going to be a 40-footer at death. I think the smart play would be to lay it up, but I would love to see Jake try and make it, maybe try to salvage his round here. Cam is playing pretty good. I wonder what he's thinking, because it's only 243 feet. You definitely just want to park it, but it's really surprisingly difficult, because even this is going to hit the ground and slow down too much before it gets up to a decent putt. You don't get much of a skip coming up this hill, just the angle and the shape of the hill.
With the short grass.
Yeah, it's just the way it hits and it just grabs. So
here's Andrew going wide, and he lands over the crevasse and on the other side.
Is he on like that little piece of elevated grass?
Yes, he is.
That's not bad.
First time I've ever seen a disc land there in all my years of playing this course.
It's only like 6 feet wide, so for him to land on it is quite impressive. Okay, so Marty is probably going, I want to say he's going fairway. He usually goes fairway on things like this. It's not far, but I can't tell.
I think it was a putter.
Great.
And goes long over the hill.
It couldn't be much more than 4 feet long.
There's Cam, which is a quick layup.
Mm-hmm.
Jake's doing the same.
I think Jake was thinking about running that.
You could tell. I don't know. I think it was the opposite. I think when it went too far, he was a little bit disappointed in it.
So this is where Marty's almost perfect drive got him to. It's got to be 45 feet long, putting back up the hill. This is a tough spot to be, no matter how you look at it. Okay, gets it up there.
Lays it up on the hill and it rolls
Oh.
back down.
Okay, that's still a 25 footer back up the hill.
Andrew chaining out for birdie.
It's the smart miss. If you miss right, you're down where Marty was.
We're going to have Cam chain out as Marty sets up for his next putt.
Yeah, so chaining out left and missing left or low is the smart play there. It's unfortunate. He definitely wanted it, but
And now this is for par.
yeah, par coming up the hill 25 feet maybe. Oh, he puts it
Over the basket. That was for par.
Okay.
And now Jake's putting out.
Just letting his card mates tap out while he collects his thoughts.
There's Andrew tapping out for par.
No birdies on this hole. That's surprising. So this is for the 4, the bogey. It's been bogey in the last 2 holes, which his 9 down through the first 15 was enough to give him a bit of a cushion.
This play does one of the off the cage. And there's a double bogey for Marty.
That's a surprise. You don't see Marty miss.
This was one of the
3
easier
putts.
holes on the day, shooting at minus .11 with 7 birdies.
Yeah, I think that one, what gets that one is it's either you're birdieing it or you're laying up for your par. So the double bogey, which we saw from Marty, is quite rare. But you can see how easy it is to happen. Hole 18, our last hole of the round. It is an absolute smash from the tee pad to the optimal landing spot, which is the corner before you make the left-hand turn into the basket here, and then you kind of want to throw a hyzer that skips into the rocks up there for your 3.
This play is one of the tougher holes of the day, shooting
I can see it.
plus 3-2 over par.
Plus 0.32.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, so a third of a stroke over par. It is. You need to throw max distance. It's 420 feet. I'm gonna say maybe 410 to get to where
It's
Jake
410 feet to that pile of rocks that Jake got to.
So 410 feet, which Jake just made look incredibly easy. And if you get off left or right, you're basically just pitching back to a spot that doesn't even really get you a look at the basket.
And there's Cam. Beautiful. Just hyzing out into the junipers.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be in a good spot. He can hyzer out from there and really chase the birdie.
Yeah, as soon as you get in, I don't know, as soon as you get into these junipers early left, there's no way to truly attack the basket. Like the hyzer, it's too steep of a hyzer to get to the basket, and
I'd say Andrew, where he is in a tougher position. Cam being about
I don't know.
10 feet more to the right. He has a little bit more to work with.
Sure.
And here's Marty with a classic Wraith.
Yeah, that is beautiful. That's that 410-foot rock power that Heather, our glorious spotter, is standing on.
Once again, want to appreciate and say a big special thanks to all the spotters that came out today and hung out in the rain with us and spotted and let us know where we were.
It's about 240 feet into the basket. I think Marty's going to go low here. Yeah, he takes the low route. Looks perfect. It's hard to see, but I'm imagining he's right up against the rocks.
Nestles right up against the rock garden, right up by the basket. Yeah. Now, see, as I was saying, Andrew's in a tougher position where he's got to go with a forehand Annie.
Okay, he got up there, though. It's tough.
And now Cam a little bit wider. He can throw a little bit flatter, try and flex it and get some distance.
You think so? Okay. Yeah, it definitely seems a little bit easier.
That's what I would do. I would pull up my leopard, flippy, and just any release, grip it and rip it.
Yeah, it's just tough. As soon as you get out in here left, it's just hard to get straight all the way to the basket. You'd much rather be a little bit right than a little bit left on this hole.
You see,
it does nicely. Oh.
And if that tree wasn't there, he would have been up on the green. That was a good shot by Cam. Here's Jake.
This is a perfect drive. This is where you want to be. You can almost see the basket, so it's tough. He's debating between a standstill and a run-up, though. That's interesting. I wonder what his footing is like.
It's just an iffy distance for him because he can't decide. He's like, should I go fairway? Should I go mid-range? CTP on the last hole, and these are the decisions you have to make.
Oh,
a little bit inside.
Yeah, that definitely was. The basket's over on the rocks.
He'll be about 20 feet short. There's Cam laying it up.
Nothing wrong with that. Taking the 4 off of a not optimal drive is perfect. As Leyland will do the same.
Lays it up. And there's Jake having to take a knee. Another tough putt.
After the optimal drive, this is not where you want to be, especially like he didn't hit a tree, he just early released it, and he comes up laying up for his 4 as well.
Hits that branch, but was able to stay on the rocks. There's Cam tapping out,
and then Marty for his 3.
1 of 3 on the day.
You're assuming he's making it.
Yep.
From 6 feet, you almost always assume Marty makes it. 3 threes on the day, and you can see why. It's a full throw. Good job, Isaiah and Joe, both guys throwing great shots to get up and down for the 3. So, wow. Okay, that was eventful. A lot of up and down. Andrew Leyland started off strong, kind of struggled in the middle in the end, but still finishing 2 down. Marty getting to 9 down before faltering near the end.
Yes, he had it going for the hot round, and he finished at -7, still shooting the hot round.
And that's not a surprise. But yeah, so you have Martin 7 down. I came in with a 6 down, just 1 stroke off the lead. Abe Newfield and Isaiah, who we've said a few times today, also going to be finishing off our top 4.
Joining us on the lead card for the 2nd round.
Yes, indeed. This is Project 15. This is Canadian Disc Golf Productions. I am Chris Brown.
I'm Wally. We'll see you on the next one. Cut.
Sweaty.